Hello, I am back for day 2 of this ES335 from Hohner. Yesterday I cleaned up the neck pocket, and neck fits in there, not as tight as I'd like it, but I can work with that later. I cleaned up this little pocket here that was filled up with, or there was nothing in it, so there was a lot of give in that area. So I took a couple toothpicks, shoved them in there with some Tide Bond, and I took my file, Crimson Guitars, and flattened that area out, and it is nice and flat now. Cleaned up, and just going through my stuff, going through the neck is what I mean is, I found my neck, and the bottom of this, which is going to sit right there when I glue it in, is not straight, and you can tell right here, maybe you can, you can't, so you can see that when I straighten out the neck, there's a little bit of a gap there, maybe 1, 2 or 3 millimeters, and I want to straighten that out. I could just, pull the neck to the side and glue it in there, but I kind of want it to look a little better than that, because when I start playing and when I get this guitar finished, I want to know that, that's sitting in there nice and straight. So I took my square, lined that up, and inscribed in a little line, and that I will take a sanding block, which I cannot find at this moment. This is some 220 sandpaper. I'll sand that as flat as I can and try to get it as square as I can in the process, so I get that nice, tight, perfect fit in there. And I did a little bit of measuring with humbucking my pickup rings, which dug through my stuff. Of course, I've been playing guitar for a long time, buying guitars from pawn shops and rebuilding them and stuff like that, so I have extra parts laying around. I did find some of these cream humbucker rings, which are slightly curved, but just not enough. And let me give you a good angle here. There it is. That's how it sits. There's a tiny little gap at the bottom of that. Well, maybe if I actually put it against the wood. Tiny little gap. But that's okay, because what we'll do, good way to, since they're just cheap humbucking rings, what we do, I saw this on YouTube somewhere, I can't remember the guy's channel, but you take a piece of sandpaper, take your humbucking ring, again this is the same piece of 220, and just slide. And since that's a piece of sandpaper sitting right on top of the guitar body, it'll start shaping that contour right onto that humbucker. It shouldn't take too much. There's not really not that much take off on the bottom of this, and this one as well. This one has a huge curve, a lot bigger curve. Yeah, I'll get another taller one, but this one on this end it's a little bit flatter than it is on this side. I have some black ones, but those are actually extra parts. Good times. These are shorter. I think this one was from my old Gibson SG. This one is pretty short as well. Not sure where these came from, but probably some random pickups. I might use these. I prefer the black ones anyway. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and use these. Maybe. I honestly have not decided. See how that's sitting. Actually, just looking at it now, straighten that neck. Sorry, I'm just checking to see how close that neck is to hitting that humbucker ring. So I'll get it, put it about close to where it's going to be. And yeah, I've got about 1/8 of an inch of room there, so that'll be fine. I might go with the black ones. But I'll decide on that once I get the pickups in there, but for the time being, I'm going to go ahead and sand these down to shape. This one is really flat at the bottom. I won't need to sand too much, just enough to give it some curve at the bottom. So here we go. Very entertaining. Actually, let's put it over the hole. How was your day? No, it's busy. It's always busy in the internet world, especially when you're a web designer. That didn't take off too much, so let's keep going. See. A lot of vacuuming to do later. Okay, a little bit more. Let's move it up here for this side. And push down pressure on this side. Not really visible there, but that's just a little bit more and we're good. And that's good. That humbucker is going to sit, or that ring is going to sit nice and flush with, excuse me, sit nice and flush with that contour. So now we do the other one. This one's going to be a little bit trickier. And just move that off the side. I'll vacuum that up here in a minute. See how close this one is. I'm just worried about this side here, so that's how we're going to sit that in the wrong position. So flip. Doesn't need that much. About 1/2 millimeter left. A little bit more. Probably help if I cleaned out the bottom. There we go. I'm going to screw in and that'll sit perfectly down there. So that's good to go. Excuse me one moment, I'm going to vacuum this up and you don't need to hear that. Okay, camera, stop shaking. Get in the right position. There we go. Okay, so the bottom of these humbucker rings now have a nice slight curve to it. It didn't need, you know, the contour on this, the top of this is fairly flat right around the center, so made it a lot easier. It just needed a little bit of down. The ends of these just needed to go down just a little bit. Now, once I find my sanding block, I will work on this neck. I would use this flat piece of particle board, but I can't find my spray glue, so I want to look for that. I might file this down some first with my trusty little file here and go straight down. Yeah, we'll go straight down, get as close as possible to the line, and then go straight across, try to keep it as flat as possible, checking often with my square with this guy here. As you can tell, that's quite a, actually right there would actually help if I got it in camera. It's quite of a bit of a angle there. It's kind of the same thing on the bottom too, just a tiny bit of gap right there, so I got to flatten that end as well. Checking the other sides on it, so that's fine. The edges are fine. It's just this end here and straight up. I want to get that as flat as possible. So, save you the time of hearing some more sanding and filing, I will go ahead and pause this and be right back. I just started a little bit of it, but I was trying to find the right tool. I can't find my sanding block, and I have no idea where the hell it's at. I moved there about 3 months ago, and who knows. But anyway, before I get off on a random tangent like I normally do, this was taking a little too long, so I'm gonna try and rough it up with a good old Home Depot file. Try to get as much off as possible. Now I'm filing at a slight angle. This way, not that exaggerated, but a slight angle just to take more off on this end rather than get this end too, because I don't want to make the tenon any shorter than it is. So I want to just get a little bit of it to where I get it nice and straight. Trying to keep as flat as possible, and also I'm mainly kissing the top of this, so the file is at a bit of an angle. So at the same time, I'm also straightening out or squaring up the edge of the tenon. You know, it would be nice if somebody gave me some money, like $400 to go buy one of the Stumax guitar vise. That would be nice. So, but where the hell would I put it? Again, live in an apartment. I just do this for fun. I don't really need it. I want it. A lot of things I want, but it's need before, it's, what is it? Need before greed. All you guys who used to play EverQuest know that line of need before greed. And I was always greed. But whatever. Anyway, more filing. And if it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, I kind of do, I kind of don't. Again, I've only been doing, I've built or put together my first guitar, so 2.5 years ago maybe. And that was from start to finish. It was a Warmoth build, and I love that guitar. I still have it. It's a great guitar. I play it all the time. Before that though, I was make a little exercise in the cash. I used to go to pawn shops, buy guitars for like under $80 and then sell them for $100 or a little more, depending on what electronics or what upgrades I did to it. And most of the upgrades were, you know, changing out the pickups, because you know, you get those cheap little Vantage, old Fender Squire guitars. The pickups are garbage most of the time, real weak sounding, so I'd upgrade the pickups. And at the time I didn't know about Guitar Fetish, so it was Stu Mac. That was the only place I knew about, or only site I knew had cheap pickups, and they had those EMG Selects, weren't that great, but for beginner guitar, selling it for $100, you know, just basic setup stuff. I didn't know too much about setups, but I knew how to, I learned how to intonate a guitar real quick. I bought Dan Erlewine's How to Build a Guitar, so I read that. What else am I talking about? I'm just rambling on here. I'm losing my train of thought. Getting old and getting senile, so forgive me for being old and senile. Oh yeah, what I was trying to say was that, you know, it sounds like sometimes I might know what I'm talking about. Sometimes there are a lot of things I do know about, but I haven't done yet. So half the time I might be talking out of my ass. But if I'm right, why not? Hey, I learn by doing. That's the best way for me to learn, is by doing. I could read all day. My reading retention's friggin' horrible. So this is my first set neck guitar, so I gotta get it right the first time. So and plus it was cheap, so if I mess up, I'm not too mad. Anyway, keep filing, and shut up. No, I don't want to do that. It'd be a hell of a lot easier if I didn't give my dad my bandsaw. Alright, let's check that. A little too much, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So let's straighten that out. Yeah, if I didn't give my dad my bandsaw, I would have been this would have gone a hell of a lot faster. So, gotta get this in. Okay, it's close. Got too much off the bottom part here. Okay, I'm going to pause this because that noise is very noisy. Okay, I am very, 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 very close to finishing this part. Squaring up the bottom of this tenon. To speed things up, I just held this piece of sandpaper down and slid back and forth, trying to keep the neck as straight as possible. I'm not going as fast, but going real slow strokes to get that nice straight edge. But it's not perfect yet. It's close. Take a look here. There's a bit of a hump on the right side, so just a little bit more and we're almost there. We're almost done. So I'm gonna take my big file and file this section down some more, trying to keep it square as possible. The the bottom, it's actually pretty good now. Not near perfect because I'm just doing this by hand. You know, it'd be nice to have my bandsaw here, but didn't think I needed it anymore, so I left it at my dad's house, and that's what I get for overthinking things. Plus, I'm sure he's having as much fun with it as I am filing this stuff down, so oh well. Be back. So close, so close. Hurry up. No, don't rush. That's how you mess up. Stop waving, camera. Okay, that's close to where I want it. Not perfect by any means, but it's sitting a lot better down in the bottom of that pocket, so get some light on that. Yay, new camera work. Anyway, that's sitting a lot better into that pocket, so what I'm going to do next, get this stuff out of the way. What I'm going to do next is see if I could tighten this up. Kind of wiggles just enough to annoy me. So there's a tiny bit of a gap on this side here. So what I'll do, let's take some of this cheap veneer and slide that in there. Well, cut the size first. See, this is the pre-glued stuff from Home Depot, and not fantastic. They say it's real wood veneer, but and yes, I did measure the line straight across, so try to get an even distribution throughout. So just about here. About there. See you. We are going to glue that on there. I'm trying to set up a little semi-jig here. Yeah, that'll actually work. So you can see it. I got the small pieces of veneer in there. I'm gonna temporarily glue those on there or tape it on there. So let's see if I can squeeze that back in there. That's really tight now, and I think I will be okay with that. If I could get this glue off, probably see if I could put it in some hot water and try to get some of the glue off to kind of thin it down a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to deal with that over the weekend, because tomorrow I will not do anything except watch TV and drink. Anyway, you guys have fun. If you're watching this, I'm really surprised. Watching a newbie luthier work on his crappy guitar. Anyway, you guys have fun. I'm gonna go drink. Well, screw the veneer. Business cards. The poor man's shim, or lazy man, or however you want to put it. But a couple business cards from places I frequent that I don't need business cards through. That'll work. Now it's super tight. It's as straight as I want it to be. And that should work. Let's see. I marked a couple lines on this body to kind of get the angle that I want. And let's see here. Now, what I'm doing is I'm measuring the space between the edge of the humbucker ring here to that line. Now, this will probably be a little bit off, but I'm going to be okay with that for now. Okay, it's just a little farther back. My calipers. Set to 0. Eyeball the straightness. Sorry, my big head hit the little camera stand. .7, and that's not straight. So let's take one card out. Let's put the thinner one on here. One's a little reward card that I'm never going to use. Okay. Now I'm going to erase some marks. Mark. That looks closer. I think I might have to slip one on this end as well. And maybe, let's try that. Cut off a piece of this. Get that piece in there. Yep. Let's use a thicker one. Standard business card. Stock. Still. Use 2 pieces. Now, measure. Oh, that's quite a bit of a jump. That probably won't do. Let's see where we're at. Oops. Nope. It's somewhere in the middle. Sorry, I was checking my messages. Anyway, you get the point. I'm trying to line up or straighten out this neck to where it sits perfectly straight all the way down, from top of the body all the way down. Anyway, I'll deal with that over the weekend. I won't let my OCD, or my lack thereof, sometimes makes no sense. I'll deal with that later. Bye. Seriously. Pickle.
Bark. 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 Bark.
Bark. Bark. Bark, bark, bark. Ow. Ow. Bark. Ow. 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 Okay, quick update. I tried the business cards to fill in this little gap here, but I just thought it was going to be way too soft, so I went on Amazon and bought this big 3 square foot pack of a veneer, maple veneer, and it's good enough thickness to where it's not really thick, so I'm going to go with wood on wood instead of little pieces of paper on wood, even though that's all made from wood. But anyway, so I got 2 pieces here, marked them out to cut the size, and I have a bunch of shims here that I'm going to put another couple pieces in just to tighten that up a little bit, because it's a little bit loose and I want it real tight so it sets up straight and all the edges go in there nice and flush. But that's it for now, so I'm going to glue this up, and tomorrow I will see you guys. I'll do some more stuff on here, probably this weekend because it's been kind of busy. Anyway, have fun. Bye bye. Here's a little clamping setup I got. I've got, make an adjustment here real quick. Got 2 clamps here. This is just a little small little box thing that I took apart that I'm really not using for anything, to use as little clamping guides for the veneer that's on there. Just trying to make sure everything's coming out all even, and it looks like good over here, but I'm gonna let this sit for a day or so. Then I'm gonna trim across the top, trim flush on the sides, file those down, and the neck will sit extra tight in that spot. So until tomorrow or sometime this weekend, see you guys. Bye.